Let's see what the p-value is. P-value tells us how surprising our data is if the null hypothesis is true. We use this number to decide whether to stick to our current belief, that is the null hypothesis, or to switch to the challenger's belief, that is alternative hypothesis. So the p-value helps us make an evidence-based decisions rather than just guessing it. If the p-value is very small and if the null hypothesis is already true, then it is very unlikely to get the data that we are getting, which hints null hypothesis might not be correct. And if the p-value is large, then data is compatible with the null hypothesis and we do not have enough evidence to reject it. Once we have a p-value, then we compare it to the significance level alpha, which is typically 0.05, and this gives us a clear rule. If a low p-value below alpha, that is if alpha is less than 0.05, means observed result is very unlikely under H naught, and that's why we reject H naught. A high p-value that is above alpha means our observed result is consistent with H naught and we fail to reject H naught because we do not have a strong evidence against it. Suppose our null hypothesis is that new drug has no effect and it is same as placebo, and our alternative hypothesis is drug has significant effect. Then we run a study, collect the data and calculate the p-value. And suppose our p-value comes around 0.03 and which is less than our threshold value alpha, which we generally use as 0.05. So our data would be quite unusual if the null hypothesis is true. So we have enough evidence to reject the null and conclude that the drug has a significant effect. Imagine you think coin you have is fair and you flip it 10 times, but you get heads 9 times. This is showing that the coin we have is not fair. It was easy in this case to identify that the coin is not fair because we got 9 heads. But what if we get 4 or 6 heads out of 10 flips? In such scenarios, p-value comes handy and it helps us to decide firmly whether to reject or accept H naught rather than just guess.